Sunlight spills through my windows, painting gold stripes across the dining table I spent 3 hours fussing over. 24 place settings with vintage china I hunted down for months. 24 crystal glasses catching every bit of light. 24 empty chairs. My phone goes off again. The sound cuts through the quiet like a slap. I've been ignoring it for an hour, but it's relentless. Hands shaking, I pick it up. The thing suddenly feels so heavy. The screen glows with a mess of social media alerts. And there they are. All of them. Mom and Dad grinning next to Landon, probably in his new place. Aunt Hannah raising her champagne glass. Uncle David hugging my cousin Chloe. Grandmother looks tired but happy, tucked in the corner of the photo. The caption from Mom, "So proud of our boy's first home purchase." The Sullivan family is celebrating Landon's big milestone. I swipe. More family. More smiles. More champagne. Then a video starts. Landon, of course, laughing with our cousins, his teeth blinding. Kira's posting again with her endless renovations. But today was supposed to be mine. The phone slips from my hand, clattering onto the table. I press my palm to my mouth, but the tears come anyway. Everything blurs. The untouched appetizers. The wine I splurged on because Dad's picky about his Cabernet. The homemade rolls I made from scratch. Just this morning, I was humming in the kitchen, too excited to sleep, checking my handwritten list while the first light hit the old oak floors. The invitation went out weeks ago. Everyone knew, 2 p.m., my first real home. This tiny craftsman, all 1,000 square feet, 11 months of sweat poured into every corner. Sienna had watched me fuss with flowers. Going overboard again, she said, but she smiled and helped polish the silverware from my grandmother. I want it perfect, I told her, tucking napkins again and again. Mom said the house was too small. Dad thought the neighborhood was iffy. I needed them to see what I'd built. Sienna squeezed my shoulder. They should be proud of you, no matter what. The first warning sign came at 1:45. Mom texted, "Running a bit late. Start without us." By 3:30, Maya and Ben from work showed up. Mrs. Iris, my 83-year-old neighbor, brought homemade pie. 3 college friends walked in with wine and warm hugs. But no family. By 4:15, I'd called my parents 7 times. Straight to voicemail. Landon wasn't answering. My texts to aunts and uncles sat unread. At 5:08, Aunt Hannah finally picked up. "Honey, aren't you coming to Landon's housewarming?" she asked, music blaring in the background. "He bought an apartment downtown. Everyone's here. Your parents said you knew." My throat went tight. Landon rents his apartment. He didn't buy anything. A pause. "Well, that's not what he told us. Anyway, he planned this last week. Said it mattered to him." "I sent my invitations a month ago," I whispered. "Today. At 2 o'clock. Another pause, longer this time. "Oh dear. Well, we're all here now. Maybe you can stop by later? After your little gathering?" I hung up. Now I sit with empty chairs meant for people who chose not to come. The 7 who did show up glance at each other, worried, as the food cools. Mrs. Iris stands, glass in hand, her gaze strong. "Don't let empty chairs steal your joy, dear. Today is Kira's day." The others raise their glasses. Sienna leans over, her voice slow. "This is your real family, Kira. The ones who choose you." My phone lights up, Mom calling. 7 pairs of eyes are on me, full of concern. I silence the call and lift my glass to Iris's toast. "Not today," I say, and my voice doesn't shake. Today's for the people who showed up. 3 hours later, the last guest leaves, vanishing into the night beyond my porch light. Only Sienna stays, helping me wrap up leftovers, enough to remind me, for days, of all those empty chairs. "You should stay here tonight," Sienna says, snapping another Tupperware lid shut. "We'll open some wine, watch awful movies, pass out on the couch." I shake my head. I need to be here. This is my home. The word catches, home. It feels so strong and so breakable at the same time, especially after today. Then the doorbell cuts through the quiet. Sienna and I look at each other. "I'll get it," I say, drying my hands on a dish towel. When I open the door, my mom, Linda Sullivan, stands on the porch. Her pearl earrings flash as she peers past me, eyes skimming the living room. "May I come in?" she says, already stepping forward before I answer. My stomach knots. She walks inside, glancing over the refinished hardwood I did myself, the crown molding I slaved over, the light fixture I hunted for at 3 different antique shops. "It's nice," she says, lips barely moving, smaller than the pictures made it look. The sting of her dismissal hits, right on schedule. Sienna shows up in the kitchen doorway, just standing there, backing me up without a word. "Mom, why are you here?" I ask. Linda drops her purse on the sofa and faces me. "Honestly, Kira, I don't get why you're turning today into such a big deal. You're always competing with Landon, making him feel bad. He finally does something for himself and you couldn't even bother to show up for him." I'm speechless. Sienna sucks in a breath. "I couldn't show up," I finally say, "because I was here, hosting my own housewarming. I invited all of you 2 weeks ago." "Well, these things happen," she says, waving it off. "You know how busy we all are. Landon only decided on his housewarming last week. He was so happy about it." "Wait, last week? I sent my invites 4 weeks ago." Linda starts fussing with a pillow on the couch. "Landon's had a rough time. When he mentioned hosting something, we thought it'd be good for him. Give him a little confidence. He told you it's a rental, not a house he bought, right?" I ask, trying to keep my voice steady. Linda freezes. "You know your brother in details. What matters is he's finally trying." "Mom, did you know Landon picked the same day as my party?" Her silence says it all. "You knew," I whisper. "You all knew. And you went along with pretending he bought a place, just to overshadow me. That hurts more than I expected." "Now you're being dramatic," Linda snaps back, straightening up. "Not everything is about you, Kira. Landon needs us more. You've always been the independent one." "Independent?" That word burns. I had to be independent. My whole life, you ignored everything I achieved while you cheered for Landon's mediocrity. Linda's eyes go wide. I've never talked to her like this. "When I made honor roll, you were at his average football games. When I got my scholarship, you spent the night comforting Landon because he didn't get his, even though he barely pulled AC. I worked 3 jobs to get through grad school while you paid Landon's rent after he flunked out of community college. I saved for 8 years to buy this house while you funded his string of failed businesses. We've always supported both of you," Linda tries, but it just hangs there empty. "I spent $78,500 and 11 months fixing this house myself," I go on, hands shaking. "Every weekend, every vacation, every spare hour. Meanwhile, you called my house a waste of money in a sketchy neighborhood and never even visited." Her face goes hard. "After all we've done for you. What have you done for me?" The question comes out raw. "Name one thing you've done for me like you do for Landon." She doesn't answer. Sienna stands silent, witnessing a fight that's been waiting for years. "This house is mine," I say, walking to the front door and pulling it open, "earned by me. Get out." Linda just stares, shocked. This isn't how we end. Usually, I'm the one apologizing, smoothing things over, making myself smaller. Not this time. "Kira, don't talk to your mother like that." "I just did," I say, my voice steady even though my heart's pounding. "Please leave." She grabs her purse, shoulders stiff, insulted. "Your father will hear about this." "I'm sure he will." The door clicks shut behind her. I lean against it, feeling strangely empty and, at the same time, more solid than I've felt in a long while. Sienna comes over, slips her arms around me. "I'm proud of you," she whispers. Morning sunlight pours through the kitchen windows when the doorbell rings again. I haven't slept much, just replaying everything from last night. I open the door and there's my father, Charles Sullivan, standing alone on the porch. He looks taller than I remember, but somehow smaller too, unsure for once. "Can I come in?" he asks, voice low. I nod and step aside. He stands in the entryway, taking in the place, actually looking. "Can I see it?" he asks. "The house. All of it." So I show him. The kitchen with the original cabinets I restored, the living room with the bookshelves I sanded by hand, the office where I work 2 days a week, the guest room Sienna and I painted sage green. Out back, he stops at the garden beds I built last month. "You did all this yourself?" he asks. "Most of it," I say. Friends helped with the big stuff. He nods slow. It's beautiful, Kira. You made something special here. His words land between us, awkward and honest, the first real compliment I remember from him. Then, out of nowhere, Landon told everyone he bought the place. We knew it wasn't true. Even though I already guessed, hearing it stings. Your mother is very upset, he goes on. I hear the old tune, guilt pressing in. Maybe if you apologized, we could move on. I'm not apologizing for telling the truth, I say, or for expecting respect. His face tightens. You know, Kira, we're not getting any younger, and our estate, I cut him off. I don't need your money. Never did. Something flickers in his eyes, anger, maybe, at losing his last bit of leverage. But there's something else too. The same old pattern. You gave Landon 3 business loans, I say quietly. The sports shop that closed in 6 months. The food truck he sold in 3 weeks. The investment thing, that turned out to be a pyramid scheme. He has potential, my dad says, almost by reflex. He just needs support. And me? Did I ever have potential worth supporting? His silence is all the answer I need. A car pulls in outside. Sienna gets out with her friend, Dr. Alara Vance. Mrs. Iris parks her ancient Buick and shuffles up with a casserole. My phone buzzes, coworkers sending photos, cheering me on. I should go, my dad says, watching the little crowd with a frown. Your mother expects a call. The family's had enough drama. You can't threaten me with family estrangement. That's already my reality, I say, walking him to the door. He hesitates there. This isn't how family treats each other, Kira. I know, I say, quiet. That's the problem. He leaves. I lean against the door, let out a breath I've been holding for years. Dr. Vance walks over, her eyes gentle but sharp. That's the first step, she says. She sees it, the whole mess. That little red notification on Instagram has haunted me for a week now. Every time I pick up my phone, it's there, daring me to peek at whatever fallout my family's cooked up this time. I'm in my home office, surrounded by the green walls I painted, when my phone buzzes again. Aunt Hannah, again. Your mother is very upset. When are you going to apologize? I drop the phone on my desk. The wood still smells faintly like lemon oil from yesterday. Outside, the maple glows gold in October sunlight. Landon's Instagram? Still the same since the housewarming. His profile bragging about buying the place, champagne toasts, relatives cheering him on, none of them bothering to check the truth. Enough, I say to no one. I grab my phone and open my photos. There it is, the picture Sienna took months ago. Me, standing on my porch, holding the keys, face flushed with pride and a kind of tired joy. The caption pops into my head, clear as day, while I'm still typing. Renovation finished on my first house. I did everything, ripped out old wires, sanded these 100-year-old floors until my arms shook. All by myself. Thanks to everyone who helped me get this far. Hashtag first-time homeowner, hashtag renovation, hashtag craftsman style. I hit post, saying nothing about the betrayal, not tagging a single family member. Buying this house comes back to me in a rush, working 60-hour weeks, split between my data engineering job and coding gigs on weekends. Living in a cramped studio, sleeping on hand-me-down furniture, pinching every penny. Losing 3 houses in bidding wars, bracing myself for disappointment, and then, finally, a call about this craftsman place nobody else wanted because it needed too much work. I remember standing alone in the empty living room, the papers signed, pressing my palm to the worn wooden archway. No parents there to celebrate. No brother offering to haul furniture. Just me, a ring of keys, and a house that needed fixing as much as I did. Landon's life couldn't look more different. Our parents helped him land a fancy apartment downtown, paid his deposit, bought his furniture, even hired movers. My phone buzzes. It's Lydia, my dad's sister's daughter, the only one who really seems to get it. Thought you should see this, she texts, and then come the screenshots of the family group chat. My stomach drops as I start scrolling. Aunt Hannah, the situation with Kira is getting out of hand. Linda is beside herself. Uncle David, Landon says she's just jealous of his success. Always has been. Cousin Marcus, we all know Kira's always been difficult. Remember her tantrum at Thanksgiving when she was 16? That tantrum was me calling everyone out for forgetting I'd gotten into MIT, partial scholarship and all. They spent the whole dinner talking about Landon's C+ in high school math. More screenshots keep coming. It's all the same. Kira, the troublemaker. Kira, always too sensitive. Kira, who just needs to try harder. Their words settle on my chest like wet cement. Later, I'm in Dr. Vance's office. The air smells like sandalwood and old books. The leather chair creaks as I shift, reliving the family chat out loud. She listens, nods. Your family is a textbook case, she says gently, almost like she's sorry. Landon is the golden child, and you're the one who can't ever do enough. I've known this, deep down, for years. But seeing it in black and white, it's like they live on another planet. Dr. Vance leans in. What would your life look like if you stopped chasing their approval? The question sits there, heavy. For a second, I can't answer. I'd be alone, I finally whisper. Cut off. Are you sure? She nods toward the window. You've got Sienna, your coworkers, Mrs. Iris. People who see you, really see you. I think about it, but say, they're not family. Aren't they? Dr. Vance asks, eyes soft. What makes someone family, Kira? That question follows me home, echoing as I pull into my driveway. Sienna's car is parked out front, with 3 others I recognize from work. Through their windows, I spot paint cans and rollers. Surprise! Sienna yells from the porch, waving at the group behind her. Painting party for your guest bathroom. We brought pizza and wine. Inside, Mrs. Iris is already there, arranging flowers in a vase. Cuttings from my garden, she explains, and I'll show you how to prune those rose bushes before winter. My grandmother taught me. Someone should know these things. For the next 2 weekends, the house fills up, not just with paint fumes and sawdust, but with laughter. The rooms don't feel empty anymore. Maya and Ben from work start coming over for dinner. Mrs. Iris shares her grandmother's secrets for perfect tomatoes. One Wednesday, the doorbell rings while I'm making dinner. Through the glass, I see Landon's silhouette, hands in his pockets, looking like he owns the place. When I open the door, his smile is practiced, like he's on TV. Hey sis, he says, leaning in the doorway. Place looks good. I don't invite him in right away. What do you want, Landon? He actually looks uncomfortable for once. Things got a bit out of hand with the apartment. Mom and Dad, well, they might have overreacted. It's not really an apology. I just step aside and let him in. He scans the house, taking it all in like he's never seen it before. Then, right on cue, he gets to the point. Listen, he says, I've got this investment opportunity. Real estate downtown. Small buy-in, big returns. Thought of you since you're into property now. I know this script by heart. Landon needs money. Landon shows up at my door. Landon assumes I'll say yes. How much? I ask, more curious than anything else. Just $18,000 to start. I'll pay you back once it takes off. Sure, like those business loans from our parents he never paid back. Or that temporary stay in his first apartment that turned into them footing the bill for 2 years. I look at my brother, really look, maybe for the first time ever. The smiles all surface, never reaching his eyes. He's so used to me saying yes, I don't think it even crosses his mind that I could say no. You've never really seen me, I say quietly. But I finally see you. For a second, something hard slides across his face. What's that supposed to mean? It means no, Landon. I'm not investing in your project. After he leaves, I do something I never expected. I call my mom and tell her I'll come to Sunday dinner. First, though, I sit down with Dr. Vance to get myself ready. Remember, she says, they'll try to pull you back into old patterns. You don't have to respond the way you always have. Sienna will be nearby, just in case, I tell her. Good. What boundaries are you setting before you go? I tick them off on my fingers. I'll leave if they belittle my house or my choices. I won't talk about giving Landon money. I won't stay more than 90 minutes. She nods. And why are you going? To see if honesty is possible, I say. To see if there's anything left to save. Sunday comes. Cold, clear. I park in front of my parents' perfect suburban house, the manicured lawn, the matching porch chairs. Everything in its place, so unlike my own house, which is a little wild and a lot mine. I take a breath and step inside. The dining room is dead silent when I walk in. Landon tries to crack a joke. It falls flat. Dad keeps clearing his throat. Mom hovers over the serving dishes and won't look at me. "Thank you for coming, Kira," Dad finally says. I sit. I'm here to see if honesty is possible. The words just hang there. No one knows what to do with them. We get through most of dinner with small talk, weather, neighbors, the kind of chatter that means nothing. Mom asks about my job, but interrupts before I can answer. Dad asks about the house. He winces when I mention I installed a new water heater myself. Then Mom sets her fork down with a sharp, loud click. "I don't understand why you had to buy such an expensive house," she says. "All that money, when you could have had something more reasonable. Like Landon did." The lie sits heavy in the room. I stand up, set my napkin down. "I didn't come for more lies," I say. My voice is steadier than I expected. "Kira, please," Dad says, getting up too. "Family should forgive each other." I look at him. At Mom. At Landon, who won't meet my eyes. Family should be worth forgiving first. I walk out. The door closes behind me, quiet, final. I step into the cool evening and breathe, really breathe, for the first time in years. Morning sunlight fills my kitchen. I arrange fresh dahlias in that blue vase Iris gave me, the one that always makes me smile. Through the window, my garden is finally coming alive, 3 months of digging, planting, coaxing life out of bare dirt. The roses are climbing their trellis, stubborn and beautiful. I see myself in them. Sunday dinners have turned into something new. Iris calls from the porch, already setting out her apple cobbler. She's 83 and moves around like she's 30, always refusing help. "Best day of my week," I say when she asks, and I mean it. The house feels different now. It's really mine. The dining room that used to echo with absence is noisy with laughter. Sienna brings board games. Ben brings his guitar. Samantha's daughter runs around catching fireflies at dusk. I've learned to like the rhythm of limited family contact. Dad calls sometimes, awkward, but at least he tries. Mom sends stiff little texts about neighborhood events I never go to. Landon stays silent. And honestly, that's its own relief. Until today. My phone buzzes on the counter. Sienna looks up from chopping vegetables. "Your face just did that thing," she says. I turn the screen to her. Landon's social media announcement glows between us. She said yes. "Juliana made me the happiest man alive. #engaged finally found the one." The photo pops up on my feed, Landon, grinning like he's just won the lottery, next to a blonde woman flashing a diamond that honestly looks like it needs its own zip code. Sienna leans over, eyebrows up. "Didn't they just start dating?" She whispers. 5 weeks, I say, scrolling through the comments. Relatives I barely remember exist are already chiming in, hearts and congratulations piling up. My parents, of course, are out front, waving the biggest digital flags. My phone buzzes. It's Mom. Her name flashes across the screen and I know what's coming. "Kira." Her voice is way too chipper. "Have you seen Landon's wonderful news? We're just thrilled. Juliana is perfect for him." I rub my temples. "Congratulations. We're planning an engagement party in 3 weeks," she barrels on. "The whole family will be there." She pauses, her tone heavy. "This is important, Kira. Family obligations come first, especially for something this significant." That old, familiar squeeze settles on my chest, the one that comes wrapped in guilt. I surprise myself. "I'll think about it," I say. Normally, I'd just say yes. She doesn't let go. "Think about it? This is your brother's engagement. After everything we've done for you?" "I have to go, Mom. Sunday dinner guests are here." I hang up before she can start again. My hands aren't even shaking. Within the hour, my phone is flooded. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all sending versions of the same message. Family is everything. Your brother would show up for you. Time to let go of old stuff. Aunt Hannah's is the kicker. Your mother mentioned you might help with wedding expenses since Landon is between opportunities again. Sienna reads over my shoulder and snorts. Of course. The golden child needs another bailout. Dr. Vance's advice echoes in my head. You don't have to answer every emergency. Protect your peace. I send one careful text to Landon. Congratulations on your engagement. I wish you both happiness. That's it. For everyone else, I type, thanks for letting me know. I'll check my schedule when the invite comes. Sienna grins, squeezes my shoulder. Look at you, setting boundaries. I almost laugh. That tightness in my chest? Gone. I just feel lighter. Sunday dinner is the usual chaos, my chosen family packed around the table. Iris tells funny stories about her husband's garden disasters. Ben strums a new song. Sienna teases Samantha about her crush on the new IT guy. No one brings up weddings, or what I owe anyone, or whether I should help pay for someone else's big day. No one questions if I belong here. 2 days later, a number I don't know pops up on my phone. Is this Kira? It's Juliana, Landon's fiancée. My grip tightens. Yes? I hope this isn't weird, but I want to meet you. Just us. Her voice isn't polished or fake sweet. She's just direct. Can I ask why? She hesitates. I saw old photos and comments from your housewarming. I've heard how your family talks about you when you're not around. I need to understand what I'm marrying into. The honesty throws me. Coffee at the Millstone Cafe? Tomorrow at 2? I'll be there, she says, sounding relieved. That night, Dad shows up at my door, a cardboard box tucked under his arm. Can I come in? He actually waits for me to answer, which is new. He sets the box on my coffee table. Found these in the attic. Thought you might want them. Inside, old photos. Me at 5, holding a science fair ribbon. Me at 12, sanding wood in Grandpa's workshop. Me at 16, beaming beside the first car I bought with my own money. I took these, Dad says, quietly. Your mother thought it was silly to waste film on everyday moments. My throat tightens. I pick up a graduation photo, my face bright, Dad next to me, actually smiling. He looks away. We failed you, he says. I failed you. I've waited so long to hear those words I don't even know what to do with them. They just sit there, heavy, not satisfying, not triumphant. Just real. Landon told everyone the ring was paid for, Dad goes on, staring at his hands. It's not. He used Juliana's credit card, said he'd pay her back. I just sit there, letting him feel the weight of it. Your mother wants me to convince you to come to the party. Bring a generous gift. Finally, he looks me in the eye. She doesn't get it. Things are different now. Out in my garden, Iris's wind chimes rattle with the breeze, reminding me, yeah, some things have changed. But not everything. Dad gets it. He nods at the edge, careful not to cross the line, standing up to leave. At the door, he pauses. The house looks beautiful, Kira. You've built something real here. He means it, and I feel it. 2 hours later, Mom shows up like she owns the place. She doesn't knock, just barges in, all bluster and old authority. This ridiculous distance has gone on long enough, she declares. You'll attend Landon's engagement party and behave like family, or you won't be family. It's that simple. Once, that threat would have gutted me. Now, it just slides off. I look her in the eye, calm. That's not your call anymore. Her face flushes. I don't yell. I'm done performing. I'll decide about the party myself. Let yourself out. She stares, but I don't budge. Next afternoon, I'm at the Millstone Cafe, tucked in the corner with Juliana. She's nothing like Landon's other girlfriends, no fake shine, no forced charm. She stirs her coffee, hands steady. My parents split when I was 12, she says. My dad was like Landon, charming, always the victim, never wrong. My mom covered for him until she just couldn't. There's a look between us. I get it. Are you sure about marrying him? I ask. Her smile flickers sad, honest. No, but I want to see it clearly before I decide. I think for a moment, then tell her I'll come to the party. Not for them. For me and for you. Later, Iris and I are in the garden, pulling dead blooms off the roses. Sun's setting, shadows stretching. Will going back there hurt you? She asks, her hands gentle in the flowers. I look at her, then at my house. Maybe, but I'm not who they think I am. She nods, eyes crinkling with quiet wisdom. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who sees you. I glance around, my house, warm lights, the garden I nursed back to life, every little fix and patch. This house taught me what family should be, I say, and I mean it. People who show up, who stay, who see you even when it's inconvenient. The evening air carries roses and earth, new things growing, old lines drawn. Engagement day. Sienna and I walk into the Crestwood Manor event space, cream walls blurring by. The decision to come sits heavy, but I keep my head up. You look stunning, Sienna whispers, squeezing my hand. Simple beats flashy. I picked a forest green dress, nothing showy, just me. The room hushes as we step in. Family freezes mid-sentence, drinks hovering. Some nod, some look away. Aunt Hannah's already whispering to Uncle David, eyes darting. Landon stands by the gifts, his smile twitching when he sees me. He expected an empty seat with my name on it, a new excuse to call me difficult. Juliana spots me, relief lighting up her face. My parents approach, their smiles stretched tight. Mom's relief shifts to calculation. Dad shifts, nervous. You came, Mom says, loud enough for everyone. How thoughtful. I keep it light. Wouldn't miss it. But there's a weight between us, things unsaid, never forgotten. 20 minutes of forced small talk, weather updates, and I drift to the refreshment table. I'm sipping sparkling water when Mom sidles up, still smiling for the crowd. Listen, she hisses, don't mention your house. Tonight is Landon's. She's back in command mode, Linda dictates, Kira obeys. Dad lingers, torn between stepping in or keeping the fragile peace. Mom, I start, but she cuts me off, rearranging food on her plate. Not everything is about you. Just once, let your brother have his moment. Before I can answer, Juliana shows up, her cream dress catching the light. She glances at Mom, then at me, reading the situation. There you are, Kira, she says, warm and steady. I was hoping to find you. Mom's smile goes stiff. We were just discussing family matters, dear. I breathe in, steady myself. Dr. Vance's words come back. Your response is yours, not theirs. I turn to Juliana, and I can't help but smile for real this time. Tonight's about you, Juliana. That's it. Nothing else even comes close. For a second, everything feels simple and honest, hanging there between us. I catch Mom's hand tightening around her glass. Her usual tricks aren't working tonight. Juliana slips her arm through mine, gently pulling me away from the tension. Thank you for coming, she whispers. It means more than you know. Time starts moving again, and we get swept up in the usual swirl of polite small talk and forced laughter. Then Landon stands up, raising his champagne. Juliana and I are so grateful you're all here tonight. He's laying on the charm thick. This year's been full of milestones. I bought a new home. We got engaged. Juliana's smile wobbles. She finds me across the table. Some relatives shift in their seats, the ones who bought his big apartment story. Aunt Hannah suddenly finds her plate fascinating. I take a sip of water and keep my mouth shut. I'm not here to fix his lies. Juliana's confusion is plain to see now, and the whole room notices. The toast ends, and she pulls Landon aside. Their voices get sharp, their whispers not so quiet. Landon glances at our parents, flustered. Mom focuses on straightening the centerpiece, pretending nothing's wrong. Dad stares at his watch, as if he might escape if he waits long enough. I step out onto the terrace, needing air. The spring night wraps around me, cool and a little wild. Then Juliana shows up, eyes red but clear. Are you okay? I ask. She shakes her head. I had no idea it was this bad. The apartment, the job promotion, the savings, none of it's real. Her voice cracks. Your parents know, don't they? Yeah, I say, because there's no point lying now. They've always known. She looks at me. How do you handle all this? The family? I watch the sky, stars peeking through the dark. I'm still figuring it out. But I stick to the truth, even when it hurts. Suddenly, the terrace door slams. Landon storms out, red-faced. What are you doing? He snaps. You're turning her against me. Juliana stands tall. She's just being honest, Landon. He lets out a bitter laugh. She's always been jealous. Ask anyone. Juliana's voice is quiet, but steady. I did. Mark didn't know anything about the apartment. Landon's mask slips, and for a second, you see who he really is. So what if I rent? Everyone exaggerates sometimes. I shake my head. This isn't about the apartment. It's a pattern. A few relatives have followed us out, watching the scene unfold. I grab my purse, suddenly tired. I'm leaving. Mom appears, tense. Kira, don't make a scene. Dad finally speaks up, voice softer than I've ever heard. Let her go, Linda. We've done enough. His words hang in the air. Mom looks at him, stunned. I walk past them, head high. The others move aside, their faces a mix of confusion and something close to understanding. Outside, spring air fills my lungs. Sienna waits by the car, questioning eyes. Ready? She asks. I glance back at Crestwood Manor, its windows glowing, the truth finally out in the open. Whether they face it or keep pretending, it's not my problem anymore. Yeah, I say. I'm ready. Sunlight spills through new curtains, painting gold shapes across my table. It's been a year since I sat here, all those empty chairs around me. Now, there are 8 place settings, blue vases filled with roses from my garden. 8 chairs for people who actually want to be here. I run my fingers over the oak, remembering that day when my phone shattered the last of those family illusions. It hurts less now. Time does that, I guess. Vance, my therapist, calls it progress. Something smells amazing. Sienna appears in the doorway, wine in hand. She's been here since sunrise, helping with dinner. Sunday night dinners, our ritual for almost a year now. Iris's recipe, I say, adjusting a napkin. She swore her pot roast could heal anything. The walls tell our story better than words ever could. Photos fill spaces once reserved for family I no longer speak to. Sienna and I painted the living room ourselves. Ben and Maya from work helped with the bookshelves. Mrs. Iris taught me to plant hydrangeas before her health got worse last winter. You should see the garden, I tell Sienna, leading her outside. It's blooming. The yard's gone from bare dirt to wild color. Iris always said gardening was about patience. Some things bloom fast, she told me. Others take seasons. Some never grow at all. Dr. Vance and I only meet once a month now. Yesterday, she asked what I've learned over the past year. I told her I've learned how to build fences. Not just the picket fence in my yard, real boundaries that protect the things I care about. At work, I mentor Alexis, a young engineer. Her mom's always criticizing her, especially about her career. Yesterday, Alexis texted me, "Your advice changed everything." I finally told my mom no to the family reunion. First boundary ever. The doorbell rings, snapping me out of my thoughts. Sienna squeezes my shoulder before I go answer it. My dad, Charles, stands on the porch, holding a potted plant. He looks uncertain. Our monthly coffee meetings have been awkward but honest, little steps toward something new. I thought your garden might have room for this, he says, handing me a lilac bush. Your grandmother had one at our first house. I smile for real. It's perfect for that empty corner. Inside, Charles looks around at the house. It's changed so much. My mom still won't visit. She's stuck in her story where Landon always deserves another chance, and I'm the ungrateful one. Landon still blames Juliana for leaving after the engagement party blew up. Last I heard, he'd moved back in with my parents, still making promises about the future. The doorbell rings again. More chairs get pulled up as my chosen family arrives. Laughter fills these rooms that used to be so quiet. Charles hangs back, watching, part of things but not quite. When everyone's settled, Mrs. Iris's empty chair sits among us, her absence still matters. Maya lifts her glass. To the house that truth built, she says, just like Iris did on her last visit. Later, as the evening softens, Charles finds me on the porch. You built something beautiful here, he says, his voice low. In this house and in your life. He doesn't say everything, but I hear it, regret, pride, all the complicated stuff that sits between us. Maybe we'll never fix it completely. But maybe we'll grow something real. Inside, more friends show up for dessert. My home glows from the street. You can feel the warmth even from outside. It's nothing like the empty house I lived in a year ago. I keep opening the door, seeing the family I chose. The truth settles in me like a deep breath. Real family sees you and stays. Night falls. I look back through the window at all the voices and laughter. Sometimes you set a table for 24 and only 8 show up. Those 8 end up meaning everything.